Marcus is 41 years old. He's a civil engineer in Phoenix, makes $94,000 a year, and has been investing since he was 28. 13 years. And last spring he called me to say his portfolio had barely moved in a decade. Not because he picked bad stocks, because every time the market dropped, he sold. And every time it recovered, he bought back in. He did this over and over and over, convinced each time that this drop was the one that wouldn't come back. Here's the thing. The S&P 500 returned an average of 12.6% annually between 2013 and 2023. Marcus, he averaged just under 4%. On paper, he did everything right. In practice, his own nervous system robbed him of 8% a year for a decade. Think about what that number actually means. On a $100,000 portfolio, that gap compounds into roughly $230,000 of missing wealth over 10 years. Not lost in a crash, not stolen by fees, just quietly bled out through decisions made in moments of panic and euphoria. That's the emotion tax, and almost nobody talks about it. Now, I want to be honest with you, because I was Marcus before I knew who Marcus was. I started investing at 26, felt like I was being smart, and I sold everything in March of 2020 when COVID hit. Everything. I watched the market fall 34% and thought I was a genius for getting out. Then I watched it recover 70% over the next 8 months while my cash sat in a savings account earning 0.4%. I didn't miss a market crash. I missed a historic buying opportunity. And I missed it because fear felt exactly like wisdom in that moment. That's the trap. Fear always feels like wisdom when you're inside it. The Dalbar Research Group has been tracking this for over 30 years. Their 2023 study found that the average equity fund investor underperformed the S&P 500 by 5.5 percentage points per year over the previous 20-year period. Not because of bad funds, because of bad timing driven by bad emotions. They bought high when things felt exciting. They sold low when things felt terrifying. They did it consistently, predictably, like clockwork. Your brain isn't broken. It's doing exactly what it evolved to do. But here's where it gets interesting. The human brain treats financial loss and physical danger the same way. Seriously, when your portfolio drops 15%, your amygdala, the fear center of your brain, fires the same signals it would if a predator was approaching. Your cortisol spikes, your palms sweat, your thinking narrows. You want to act, to do something, to escape. That response kept your ancestors alive on the savannah. It will destroy your retirement account. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner, father of behavioral economics, spent decades proving that losses feel roughly twice as powerful as equivalent gains. So a $5,000 loss doesn't just sting twice as much as a $5,000 gain feels good. It scrambles your judgment. It makes you irrational in ways you genuinely cannot detect from the inside. You think you're being prudent. You're being primal. Now, what most people don't realize is that this cuts both ways. Greed does the same damage, just in reverse. My friend Priya, she's 37, works in pharmaceutical sales in New Jersey, put $22,000 into a tech ETF in late 2021. Not because she'd done deep research, because every conversation at her office was about how tech was just going to keep going. It felt like certainty. It felt obvious. It felt safe, because everyone agreed. That ETF dropped 46% in 2022. She didn't sell at the bottom to her credit, but she also didn't buy more when valuations were screaming at her to. She froze. And freezing, the third behavioral failure nobody talks about, cost her almost as much as panic selling would have. When the crowd feels certain, that's not a signal to join them. That's a warning. So here's the reframe that changed everything for me. Stop thinking of the stock market as a place where prices go up and down. Start thinking of it as a machine that transfers wealth from emotional people to patient ones. Every time Marcus sold in a panic, somebody on the other side of that trade was buying. That buyer wasn't smarter. They just weren't scared. And because they weren't scared, they got Marcus's share of the next decade's growth. The market doesn't take your money. Your emotions volunteer it. Okay? So here's where this gets practical. because I'm not interested in just naming the problem. The framework that actually works isn't about suppressing emotion. You can't. It's about building a structure that makes emotional decisions harder to execute. First, write a one-page investment policy statement before the next time volatility hits. Not during a crash, because you won't think straight. Right now, today, while everything feels calm. Write down exactly what you own, why you own it, and under what specific conditions you would sell. Not if it feels bad, specific conditions. A company loses its competitive moat. A fundamental business metric breaks. Something measurable. If your reason to sell isn't on that page, you don't sell. That's it. Your calm self has to pre-authorize every decision your panicked self might want to make. Second, turn off your portfolio notifications completely. Dalbar's research shows that investors who check their portfolios daily are 3 times more likely to make reactive trades than those who check quarterly. You're not getting smarter by watching the number move. You're feeding the anxiety loop. Check it 4 times a year. That's enough. Third, and this is the one that actually saved me after my 2020 mistake, commit to buying something during every crash. Not everything you have. Something. Even $50. The act of buying when it feels terrible is the single most effective way to rewire your emotional relationship with volatility. You stop fearing drops and start watching for them. That shift in orientation is worth more than any stock tip I could ever give you. Now, if you're someone who earns a solid income, saves consistently, does most things right, and still can't figure out why your net worth isn't growing the way the math says it should, this is your answer. The gap between what you earn, what the market returns, and what you actually keep is almost never about information. It's about behavior. It's about the 2 a.m. decision to check your portfolio when a headline scared you. It's about selling in February and buying back in April. It's about the emotion tax. And here's what I want you to sit with. Marcus isn't a bad investor. He's a normal one. His brain responded to market signals exactly the way 87% of retail investors respond, according to a 2022 Vanguard behavioral study. He lost $230,000 not to Wall Street, not to fees, not to bad luck, but to a nervous system that was never designed for this game. The contrarian edge isn't knowing something others don't. It's feeling something others feel and choosing not to act on it. That's the whole game. Tonight, before you do anything else, open a notes app on your phone and write one sentence. Why do I own what I own? If you can answer that clearly and specifically, you're already in the top 20% of investors. If you can't, that's your homework. Start there. Not with a new stock, not with a new account, with a reason. Your future self is counting on the clarity of your present one.